This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. So if you want a bit of that, click the link in the description. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's enjoy Bitcoin. So we did have a potential short the top of what was appearing to be, whether you look at it in the form of a rising wedge or a rising channel last night, and obviously we broke outside of that, so it made it void. Also, it was Sunday, which makes things more unpredictable than normal. So the futures trade I wanted to take place, I couldn't do it, but as I said on that video, everything was telling me to stock up on altcoins, which is why I made that video yesterday about all the altcoins that I'd bought over the weekend and why. And we can see some of those, especially things like Uno mooning, VRA mooning, even ICP and EOS mooning. Never mind all the others, just up a little bit, just moving with the market effectively. The other ones are just moving with the market, and the market is basically moving. As you can see, we've been having our eye on the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. We recognize obviously that there was a consolidation taking place, that we'd broken out of that consolidation, and we pondered whether we would go sideways and accumulate like Bitcoin's done, or we'd go straight up. And it looks like we're going straight up. But remember, most of this is being driven by the overall market. Bitcoin has now reclaimed that 20 weekly, which is an amazing thing. The most amazing thing that I see taking place at the moment, though, and we were talking about this over the weekend, saying that there's an inevitable breakout, or there is likely to be a breakout really soon because of this signal. The Ichimoku cloud gave us a continued trend signal, so a trend that goes up tells us to get in, and it will also tell us to get out. And we prayed, didn't we? I'm not a religious person, but we did pray to Bitcoin and the chart of Bitcoin that we didn't close Chiku span within the candle bodies, and we monitored this over the weekend, and lo and behold, we're way above it. Now we can sustain dumps all the way down into this little zone, so much lower levels if we did come down, and still have the uptrend intact as far as the Chiku span is concerned. So we can sustain much lower than we could have done over the weekend and still have a serious upside based upon this indicator. It is again my favorite indicator, which makes me a real saddo, because I do have indicators that excite me. These lines can be exciting, and now you can see why. So bang, 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 we're looking good. So like I say, we can marvel at some of these, and just for the record, it's all here. We were talking a couple of weeks ago, the moment we've been waiting for, time to risk some cash. Only 2 weeks ago we were talking about that, so let's take it to the weekly, and lo and behold, Bitcoin found its absolute bottom of this accumulation 2 weeks ago, and then throughout that period I've been sort of pointing to other areas of significance. So we've got Algorand, obviously that's good, we've got our XRP set up, that's good, ICP with a bullish outlook, altcoin rally starting next week, they're all here. EOS, even EOS, pump it. We've got VRA, too good not to buy, and then yesterday all those altcoins, all those shit coins that I was referring to. So it looks like I've been on a good run, I have to say, which is why I thought I'd bring it to your attention. This could have easily just jinxed the entire market, so if we do dump now, it's certainly my fault for bigging myself up a little bit. But you've got to do it. Sometimes on days like today, especially when everything works out the way that you've been planning it for a prolonged period of time, and you take you jump in with all the analysis that we do, mostly TA, but looking at the grander picture, which is a trading environment dictated by counterintuitive chart behavior to do with inflation and combating inflation with the rate hikes. We did think that we were going to get a good move as a result of the rate hikes, and we seem to be having that again. There's more to it than just charts, but charts have played a really good role recently with the signals that have been generated. So there's a few things to not be concerned about, but little things to think about. The first thing would be the money flow index still being relatively high on the daily. Again, we recognised yesterday that when we come up to these potential areas, we've only been this high 8 times in Binance's history, which goes back for 3-4 years, and they do reach particular peaks. So we are looking to potentially hopefully reach a peak soon on this particular run and then continue on with a trend. That's what we're kind of looking for. That's what all this would suggest. We don't have bearish divergence, so there's nothing to worry about immediately, although we could just sink, that's no problem. But as far as momentum is concerned, it's not losing any momentum on the daily or the 4 hourly. I've not checked the hourly, but what's the point? What's the point? We're looking at this from a spot trading perspective. We're looking for much greater figures to be generated by all of these alts and Bitcoin, obviously. And so the next major toppy zone I'd be looking for would be about 52,000. We found peaks around here in the past. We found a peak in here, the mid-cycle peak. We found supports around here. So it does appear that 52,000, give or take, is going to be the main destination now that we're above this resistance zone and we've broken out of it. And again, just marveling at the weekly, we can say in all certainty that we closed yesterday and started the week above the 20 weekly, which again is the line in the sand. It's only 65% more likely to stay within this, which isn't the greatest odds, but it's still odds in the favour of the bulls. It's got a negative slope on it, which is going to take probably several weeks, maybe a month or so to turn around and go horizontal and up again, and that's when the bull market really starts to kick back into gear. So we could still be choppy in this upper range. It's not going to be up only, but it's definitely looking really good. So all of those things that we've been sitting around waiting for, all the things we've been talking about on the live stream, wait to March, the rate hike, then start to put in some money blindly, expecting potential bottoms, not risking too much, but risking an absolute low. Now the trading environment is starting to look way more appealing. Charts will certainly mature now if we can remain above this area on Bitcoin's chart, and if we can remain above here, then we can actually start to trade altcoins based on their charts, taking them seriously rather than educated guesses at where bottoms are based on a number of factors, charts and fundamentals and overall grand economic outlook, basically, which has made it a pretty hard area to really try and guess anything, really, to try and make any calls. But over this last few days, with that Ichimoku cloud on the daily for Bitcoin, it was something that we don't generally see very often, and those signals, we should take them seriously, and I'm so glad that we have. So I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.